Shalom, my friends. I'm so excited to share with you some of the drawings from Preston Scott Cohen and BNIM, showing us the computerized renditions of our new sacred space. Here we are, driving up Lamar. You can see the new building up on the hill, and it reminds us of the waves of the ocean, of the images of water. But as we come closer, we see it is actually the images of an unfurled Torah scroll. When we enter into this space, it will be like we are being enwrapped in God's word. And it makes us realize that we're entering a different space, a sacred space, different than a social hall, different than an auditorium, different than a gymnasium, a place that's used to build community and lift our hearts and our prayers up to God. Here we are inside the space. As you can see, these are movable seats that can be moved to create different setups for prayer. This is for a typical bar or bat mitzvah or Shabbat morning. You can see how close the chairs are to the table. This is where Chazan Ben Yehuda will lead the service from, where the bar bat mitzvah or other volunteers will be reading the Torah, where I'll be sharing words of Torah in the morning. The windows right now are abstract because the architects are working to find the most energy efficient, cost efficient, and physically safe way for us to get as much natural light into our space as possible. And there's something in this picture that's missing from our current configuration. If you look to the right, there's an ADA compliant ramp so that anybody, regardless of their mobility, will be able to approach the ark, will be able to kiss the Torah scroll and fully participate in our worship. Here we are with the Shabbat setup, but the roof taken off of the building. You can see that the movable seats are in a round close to the table. And then we have fixed seats behind. So it can be almost like a chapel within the sanctuary for a Shabbat morning when we don't have a bar bat mitzvah. But then when we have a special speaker, Scout Shabbat, Sisterhood Shabbat, or a bar or bat mitzvah celebration, we expand out to have almost 300 chairs on the first floor alone. And if we need additional space, there's an additional 140 seats in the balcony. Having a balcony allows us to expand our physical space in the most cost-efficient and energy-efficient way possible because there's no extra square footage on the floor plan. Here it is set up for the high holidays. You can see that the seats are now in rows and that there are additional movable seats that are laid out behind the fixed pews. This gives us 522 seats, as many as there were in the White Theater. So between this new sanctuary and Goldsmith Hall, we'll be able to have just as many seats as there were in the Social Hall and White Theater at the JCC, but we will also have the expanded classrooms on our lower level, and this way we can have engaging youth services and family services taking place simultaneously. This slide is special because it shows how short the walk is to go from the car right into our building, right into the sanctuary without that long walk down the hallway that we currently have. This will make our space as accessible and welcoming for all of our members, regardless of age and regardless of physical ability. Here we are, my friends, back in the new sanctuary. I can't wait to have you join us here, celebrating together your child or your friends' children's or grandchildren's bar and bat mitzvah celebrations, new baby namings, ofrus and weddings, and yes, also standing together in sadness when we comfort each other after a loss or during Yizkor. I look forward to seeing everybody's faces and to hearing our voices rising in prayer and singing in celebration. Thank you for joining us this evening. Shalom.